I turned on all of the ambient lights in this room without turning off the big overhead light because it is super overcast and rainy today. We are under a winter storm warning here in Pittsburgh right now. So I did my best. I also moved because that last video I severely underestimated the ability of my camera to be able to compensate for that low light situation. And this corner is a little bit more interesting. The heat just kicked on, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear that. But yeah, this is a better corner, a cozier little corner. We got yarn all around. So I am here. It's me, Lee, coming at you today all rosy faced and fresh. I'm not fresh. I am breaking out because it's that time of the month and I was not going to be bothered putting makeup on today. I am in vacation mode real hard. I have an entire week off from the bakery, so I have been taking these first couple of days of vacation easy, and I hope to get some creative stuff done for the rest of vacation, starting today with filming this podcast. So how does this go? What do? We start with finished objects, right? Actually, I guess I should probably talk to you for a second. My name is Lee. I'm here in Pittsburgh, sunny, beautiful Pittsburgh, PA, and it is February 3rd today, 2022. It has been not very long since I last filmed my podcast, a podcast episode, but it has only been a few days since I uploaded the last episode. It took me a very long time to edit the last episode. So who knows when this episode will go up. I might edit it quickly and put it up, but it may be another week. I don't know. Since I filmed that last episode, a lot in my knitting life has changed, so that'll be exciting. That'll make for an exciting episode today. I have a few acquisitions, and I have, what else do I have? I guess I'll update you on life stuff at the end, right? For people who aren't interested in that. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. I don't ever come into these with show notes because I film on whims. I never plan them. I never plan when I'm gonna film or what I'm gonna film. So no show notes. Wow. No show notes here. Anyways, let's get into knitting stuff. We have a few finished objects today. Last week I went on a finishing socks frenzy. So I have 4 pairs of finished socks to show you. And we'll start with those. All right, and I have a few behind me over here. I hid them away after I washed them because I wanted to show you in the podcast. But first we'll start with this pair, which have not been washed yet. These are the only pair I've finished that have not yet been washed. But these, you saw in my last episode, are my most recently finished pair of socks. These are for me. Let's see if I can remember how to talk today. All right, these are knit from Murray & Wool Company. Murray & Co. Wool Goods, that's it. Murray & Company. Her Mystery December sock set, which is White Christmas. And it is this beautiful lilac and sky blue and white with little specks of green, yellow, and red in it. And it's on a stellina base, so it is nice and sparkly. I don't know if that's gonna pick up on camera at all, but it's nice and sparkly, and it has a little off-white contrast color with it. And it's a gold stellina, so it has gold sparkles on it. And I love how these turned out. They are gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. If I haven't mentioned it before, I will go ahead and tell you that a little bit of history for me. Historically, and by historically I mean my entire life until this past like 2 years, I have hated purple. Purple is my least favorite color, or always was my least favorite color. And I I just never liked it. Never liked it. Wasn't for me. Was not a purple person. These last couple of years, I have really come into an appreciation for purple, but only specific purples. I love pale purples, like lilacs and lavenders, and I love really deep, rich, like warm purples, like wine colors and Bordeaux's and stuff like that. So give me jewel tones or pastels, but do not give me like royal purple. Not a fan of royal purple. That is still my least favorite color. Up there with like teal. I'm not a teal person either, and I know teal is super popular, but don't at me. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And in my opinion, I just don't like teal or royal purple. But this, you'll probably be seeing a lot of these like pale, dusty purples in, I mean, you can see a bunch right here, like all of these down here. Yeah, it's really having a moment for me right now. So first pair of socks finished. One day I may give you guys a little bit of background information about me. Maybe I'll do like a get to know me video and I'll like pin it on my YouTube page, and it'll give you a little bit of like background for like my color history, because I also, if you're new here, you may not know that I am an illustrator. I'm a freelance illustrator in my like professional life. And so color and color theory is like a huge part of just me and my heart. And I take it very seriously in my knits as well. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do like a little get to know me video, or maybe I'll do like an ask me anything video or a Q&A, something like that. I don't know. Second pair of socks finished. These are so soft because they are washed. Are my Fresh Garland socks. I definitely called them the wrong name last episode, but this is a sock set from Sorella yarn. Pardon me, I'm itchy from this weather and probably just the weather, honestly. Allergies are not real. Oh, allergies are a thing today because, pause, side note, tangent. We woke up this morning, me and my husband, we're both on vacation. We were supposed to go out of town for a week and did not. So we're having a little staycation at home while our car is in the shop. Fun times. But we woke up this morning and we cleaned the house. We vacuumed all the floors, we mopped twice and cleaned up the kitchen, cleaned bathrooms, all that kind of stuff. So there's been some dust like flying around in the air today. So if I apologize if I have to like take a moment. But anyways, yes, these are my Fresh Garland socks. This sock set is from Sorella yarn, and it was gifted to me by one of my best friends, my best knitting friend for sure. And she had the same sock set, and so we knit matching socks. And I used the Hermione's Everyday texture. Like I didn't use the whole sock pattern. I inserted my own preference, my own heel preference. I used the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I knocked those bad boys out. All of these socks are going to be 64 stitches because they're for me. So just so you know, on size 1 or 0 needles. I think I did both of these on size 1 needles and this next pair on size 1 needles. But the last pair I'm going to show you I did on size 0 needles. All right, next pair I'm going to show you are these guys. I finished them. These are, they have a nice fresh wrinkle in them from being folded poorly. But these are they're kind of short, like a little bit short because I only bought a 50-gram skein of the self-striping, but this is my set from Tiny Human Knits, her January Lord of the Rings colorway. What was it called? It was called A Long Expected Party. That's right. And I love this color. I love it so much. And they're so like squishy. Her base is nice and plump. So these socks get nice and squishy when they're all knit up. I love it so much. And I'm excited to add all of these to my sock box now that I've shown you on the podcast. And last pair of finished socks. These are the ones that were knit on size 0 needles. but honestly, I can't tell much of a difference in the size. There's a little bit of a difference in the openness of the fabric depending on how thick the yarn is, and this yarn was pretty fine. This was a pretty light fingering, so it's a little more open than the fabric's a little bit more open, loose than other pairs of socks, but they're still perfectly good, like perfectly fine socks. This pair is my, I had the label for this somewhere. I think it is Home Spun Girls yarn. I think that's the name of the dyer. It is Cherry Christmas Cake. And I used an onion nettle sock yarn for the contrast color, heels, toes, and cuffs. And this pair was the second to last Christmas pair I had to finish. I'm very excited that it's done. I had one more pair of Christmas socks on the go that I will show you here in WIPs that I was trying to finish before January was over, but I had some stuff come up that I will also get into here in a bit. So, what is next? That is all of my finished objects, right? I believe it is. There's a hair sticking on that. Yeah, I think that's all my finished objects because I cast on a bunch of stuff. Right. There are a few projects here in WIPs that I will not be talking about that I showed you last episode because they weren't touched since last episode. I put them aside so that I could start a couple of new things. And on that note, let's get into it. All right, I have, first here, we'll get this out of the way. This is my pair of Christmas socks that are going into hibernation because of the new things I've been casting on. I did manage to finish one sock and start the second sock, so it should be easy to pick them up and keep going when the time comes. I'm actually on the fence about if I'm gonna keep these like floating around the house for if I ever feel like picking them up, or if I'm actually gonna put them like in hibernation until I feel like working on Christmas socks again. But this is my last pair of Christmas socks from this past winter, or this winter. And aren't they cute? I actually am so in love with these. The yarn is the Frosted Forest sock set from Moonglow Yarn Co. And it's, oh my god, it's just so good. This dark green is so rich. And then just this combo. The combo is just so good. It came with the big green full skein. I ordered a 100-gram skein, gifted 50 grams of it. And then it came with 3 20-gram minis, one of each of those contrast colors. And I got this far on the second sock. And you can see here that I switched the stripes up for this sock. I moved them down one or up one. Either way, I'm gonna have a different colored heel and toe on this sock, so they'll be cute little mismatchy socks. The other one, I believe, will have a silver heel and a red toe. So I think that'll be super cute. Oh, and the pattern. The pattern is the Broken Rope socks from Summer Lee Knits. I switched out the heel though, because I always do. You will never see me, almost never see me knitting a heel flap and gusset in this house. Don't like it. All right, we'll stick with sock WIPs right now. I'm not going to go in order of like when I cast things on. I'm going to keep it categorized here real quick. So socks. I cast on 2 new pairs of socks last night. I was doing so well. I finished 4 pairs of socks plus another individual sock in this past week. And I felt so good. It felt so good. That Christmas pair of socks I just showed you are the last pair of socks that I had on the needles. I didn't have any more. None. It was quite exciting. Quite exciting. So of course I had to cast on 2 new pairs last night. But it's okay because one is for a challenge and one is a pattern pair of socks. I don't know how that makes it any different, but it kind of does. I don't know. All right, the first pair of socks I'm going to show you are my February striped socks. I didn't tell you about my February or my year of striped socks challenge that I'm doing. I challenged myself to knit a pair of striped socks every month this year. So 12 pairs of striped socks. I wanted to get through some of my stash, and I also wanted to get through some of my sock or my self-striping sock yarn, because self-striping sock yarn is really like fun to knit. It's really potato chippy. It's really easy to knit through self-striping yarn. So I just decided it'd be fun to do that challenge. This pair of socks actually was my January pair. It was not supposed to be my January pair, but I got this in the mail mid-January and decided that it needed to be my January pair. And this is my February pair. I have started these really cute, okay, I just gave you all of that like spiel about purple and then showed you these socks. These socks are not for me. These socks are for my husband, Brad. He does like purple, so so there we go. All right, these are a 1x1 rib sock with a 3x1 rib leg, and I'll keep the rib going on the top of the foot. 68 stitches instead of 64. Brad, I have found, he wears a size men's 10 shoe, but his feet are not as long as a 10. He has short, wide feet, and he likes to have a lot of extra room in the toe of his shoes. I did not learn this until recently, so I was making his socks for a size 10 foot when I did not need to. So I was wondering, I was having a hard time figuring out why his socks never fit right. I think I finally figured out what I need to do, and that is make his socks a little bit bigger than mine, and in that, like around, so 68 stitches instead of 64, and sometimes even that's a little loose on him. So to make up for that, I make them ribbed. There we go. Then they fit perfectly nice. He's also really hard on socks, so I have to use pretty like hardy sock yarn. This is one I bought a while ago, and it is from the Cozy Knitter. It is her Bliss sock base, Cozy Knitter, in the colorway Cherished. I do not know if that's gonna focus. It doesn't matter. You know what the word cherished looks like. I'm pretty sure that's the tag for this. I didn't actually look, but yes, in the colorway Cherished. And it's pretty cute, honestly. I really like the Cozy Knitter's sock yarn because her colors are nice and muted, and it also feels really substantial. Her yarn is nice and plump, and I don't know, feels a little bit rustic, which is interesting. It is an 80-20 merino nylon blend, so should be pretty standard, but it's not. It feels different than other sock yarns I've used, so that'll be good. I've knit him a pair of socks in her yarn before, and he seems to really like them, and I really like the way they fit. So I got him this color too, and I've started him his pair. So my February socks will be yarn, or will be a pair for him instead of for me. While I am like thinking about that, actually, I'm going to walk over behind you and grab, I have like a little basket of all of the yarns I picked out for my striped socks this year, so hold please. Okay, I have it here. I'm gonna get through my whips first, and then I will show you all of my sock yarn I've picked out for the February, I keep saying February, for my striped socks challenge for this year. Next whip. My next whip is the other pair of socks I have going now. And like I said, these are a pattern pair. I bought a mystery sock set. This would have been in Acquisitions today, but I just got it in the mail a few days ago, and I decided I needed to cast it on for my Valentine's socks for myself. So it didn't make it to Acquisitions. I cast it on too quickly, but it is a sock set from Playful Day Yarns. And she did a mystery like bits and bobbles sale where she came up with, you could order like a sock set or a mini skein set, and she would send you mystery color combination. And this is the main color that mine came with, and these are the contrast colors. Aren't they incredible? Like, I got this in the mail and I was really nervous that I wouldn't like the color combo she picked out, but when I got this, I felt certain that it was the color combo she had posted on Instagram that made me decide to buy the yarn. So that worked out. Anyways, these, like I said, these are going to be Valentine's socks for myself. And the pattern I'm using, I know, a pattern, can you believe, are the Favorite Things socks from Backwoods Knits. And they look kind of like that, but I didn't print out like the big front page with the big picture on it. Project pages will be linked below. And then this is as far as I am on the first sock. I started these last night as well. And I have the cuff, one Latvian braid, and the color work, leg color work done. And I am in love with it. I just have 2 more rounds of the cream color and then 1 more Latvian braid, and then it's just knitting until the toe. I have another round of color, another section of color work around the toe, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. They're so beautiful. This color, this like pink, it shows up really like strangely on camera. Like, I have a hard time taking a photo of it as well, but it is neon. It is so bright, so vibrant. I love it. I'm having such a good time with these. They're a lot of fun. All right, I'm just trying to wrangle all of these things back into a bag. We'll start talking about my crochet project real quick, because my last 2 whips are like exciting. So we'll just get this out of the way. In my last episode, you may remember that I talked about my granny squares that I was making from my Woolberry Fiber Co. Advent from 2020. I have made, this pile is not in good shape, hold on. Everything's just kind of everywhere. All right, I've made this many more squares. It's only been a week, so it doesn't look very exciting, but still, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 squares. 10 squares. That's not too bad. 10 squares in a week. I've really slowed down on it because of my next 2 whips. But I only have 5 minis and this much of the main color left. Isn't that exciting? Could I have held these worse? Probably not. Yeah, that's all I have left. I think I might, oh, actually, I did take, oh, the square here. I had a scrap of some, what was it? Fiber Spates Vivacious 4-ply. It's another 2-ply. It's called a 4-ply, but it's a plump, it's a high twist yarn base like the Woolberry yarn. I had used it because I had run short on one of these squares. I'd used it just on the edge to finish off that square because it was the only thing I had in stash that was even kind of close. But I just made a whole square out of it too, so that was an entire extra square that I wasn't planning on having done in the blanket. So I'm gonna not put these back in the bag. I'm going to actually put them off to the side and add them to my giant stack over there on my table. So, there you go. You can, oh no, just drop them all over the floor. It's okay, you can live there. It's fine. All right, I just have 2 whips left. 2 whips. I was supposed to cast on a new project today at Knit Group, but Knit Group got canceled because of this weather. So I was saved from casting on something new today. I might cast it on tomorrow because we're doing a knit along with my knit group and all of my yarn is still at the shop and I need to go pick it up. But if I make it over there to pick it up tomorrow, I might cast on tomorrow. We'll see. All right, story behind my last 2 whips is I was having a bad time, like a really bad time. Last week I was stressing out a lot about our car. We were having car troubles. It was acting up. We got a coolant leak. I had convinced myself that I'd cracked the radiator somehow. It was a whole mess, like just a disaster. A lot of stuff was, I got news that my grandfather was sick, like a whole bunch of stuff just kind of weighed on me really heavily all at once. And so my response was to see 2 test knits announced on Instagram and sign up for both of them. They are both from the same designer. They're from Hannah from Herb Garden Knitwear, and she announced a new hat pattern and a new sweater pattern, and I signed up to test both of them. So let's see what they look like. First pattern is the Joanna sweater hat. I think it's Joanna, it might just be Joanne. I also don't know how to pronounce it specifically because she is German, I believe. And I don't try to pronounce things in German. Like I feel like I can, but I don't. Like I don't know if it's Joanna hat. It's Johanne. And it is a 2x2 ribbed hat. There's a glare on my phone, but that's it. It's a 2x2 ribbed hat. It is a fingering weight and a mohair held double. I believe that's what she used. That's what I'm using. And I got gauge with it. So it has a triple thick brim. So the brim is actually just folded twice. And then that's it. That's like it's a super simple. I don't like really complex hats in general. I don't reach for them as often as I do just plain simple hats. But look at it. Look at it. It's so long. I am just a little over 10 inches at this point in ribbing, and I used a single ply fingering weight. It is 100% merino from Cornbread and Honey, and the color is Snake Plant. Held double with this. I just finished this ball, the first ball of this. So I have the second ball here, ready to go. It is Camarose Midnight Sol. There we go, in the color Havgron. It's just a sagey green. And I really like it. This yarn, the Camarose Midnight Sol, is quickly becoming my favorite commercial lightweight, like mohair alternative to hold double with things. This is it for me. This is it. But mohair I also find a little bit itchy, so I've always preferred Surrey. But Surrey is very expensive, and especially like hand-dyed Surrey. It's hard to find a commercial Surrey, so usually I go for hand-dyed, but that gets really expensive. This, on the other hand, is very reasonably priced. I don't remember the exact price, but it was probably something like $6 or $7 a ball, maybe less, I'm not sure. It is 54% baby alpaca, which is the fluff, 36% tinsel, which is what the core is made of, and 10% merino, which I'm not sure where that comes in, if it's part of the fluff or part of the core, I'm not sure. But yeah, amazing. I love that the tinsel in there is the alternative for the silk. So it is, if you have an issue with the like ethics of silk, this is a great alternative. Love it very much. But yeah, this is as far as I am. My little progress keeper is super cute. It is from Sassafras Knits. Sparkly and wonderful. And I'm using Brittany needles. These are Brittany size 2.5, 3mm double pointed needles. I just bought these at my local yarn shop. What did I say? A little over 10 inches. I'm supposed to be knitting for a few more inches, and then I can start some crown decreases, and that is exciting. I'm a little bit ahead on my like timeline for this, like as far as when it's due, but I'm behind on the timeline for myself. According to what I told myself, which was that I'd knit an inch a day, I only knit half an inch 2 days ago. Didn't knit any yesterday. So I needed to knit 2.5 inches today. So far I have knit 1.5. Oh, so I only have 1 more inch to go. I'm still way ahead on the actual timeline for like the due date for it, but it's fine. Hats are so easy and so fast and so mindless. I just kind of want to get it done so that I can like figure out what to do with it. I love the way it feels. It is so soft and squishy. The color is beautiful, but it's not one of the colors that I normally would go for. Like I feel like if this color had been white instead, I probably would have felt differently about it. But I didn't have enough white in stash, and I told myself I was going to only use stash, like only sign up for the test knits if I had the yarn in stash. So I used the green, but I have a friend who just got engaged and she loves like seafoam green. It's like her favorite color. I may gift this hat to her. So we will see. We will see. I only have one more whip. One more whip. This is also a test knit from Herb Garden Knitwear, and it is the Vivian Sweater. A sweater. Can you believe? I don't sign up for sweater test knits anymore because I don't enjoy them as much in general, because I don't enjoy having a timeline as much in general. I just prefer to knit casually. I knit for fun, not for business. So I don't know. I just did it. I did it, and here I am, and I'm actually having a really good time with it. The Vivian Sweater, this is as far as I am. It is a high neck sweater with it's knit in the round with this really fun text, like twisted rib textured yoke. It reminds me a little bit of like festival wear. And then the rest of it, there's a little bit of pattern around the cuffs, I believe, but the entire rest of the sweater is just stockinette. I am on the raglan increases now. There was some circular yoke increasing in the pattern, but after that it's raglan increases, so I'm on the raglan increases now. I don't have a whole lot farther to go. I mean, I do. I have like 9 more increases to go. I've tried it on. The neck hole is a little bit tight, but it gets over my head and then fits my neck. I can't wait to get to done with the raglan increases so I can actually try it on proper. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, this, I guess I should tell you what the yarn is. I have one in here. I do have one in here. This is Knit Picks palette. Like I said, I had this in stash. Knit Picks palette is a non-superwash 100% wool. And honestly, I love Knit Picks palette. I will use it. It's like one of my most preferred non-superwash budget yarns. It is fingering weight and the color is doe. Like a deer. A female deer. Doe, a deer. A female deer. Anyways, yeah. I love it. This color seems... I hear a lot of people talk crap about brown, especially like in my knit group. People talk about how like 70s brown is, but brown has always been my preferred like neutral. And this specific brown, I have a t-shirt in this color and I wear it all the time. Like all the time. It's one of my most worn garments. Anyways, now I'm gonna have a sweater in that color and I love it. I also don't think that doe is a very popular Knit Picks color because I had half of the yarn I needed in stash. I was gonna not tell you this because I wasn't supposed to be buying yarn, but I had half of the yarn in stash. I just went on to Knit Picks and ordered the yarn I was missing, like the amount I needed, and it was the same dye lot. And I didn't order that recently. It was like last year sometime that I ordered the first round. All right, that's it for whips. That's all I got for things that I've been actively working on. You know, I have more whips than that, but that is neither here nor there. Oh, lies! I have one sewing whip to show you. I haven't touched my skirt that I talked about last episode, but I did finally get my sewing machine. I mean, not working, it was working already, but I figured it out. I figured out how to work it. Because as you know, I got a new sewing machine. It's vintage. So I had to learn how to use a vintage machine, but I also had to use a sewing machine in general because I had never used a sewing machine before. But yesterday, I made my first quilt square. Look at it. Don't look too close because it is very imperfect, and obviously it is just a raw square. It hasn't been put into anything yet, but I want to make this into the front of a project bag. I am gonna stick it up real close and show you where's those? That's a pretty good looking corner. Show you the fabric. Because isn't it cute? This is a vintage fabric I took from my grandma. But I love it so much. And everything is just stuff I had in stash. Like I had a little like tiny square of this color, which is why it's a different yellow than the outside. It was supposed to be the same color as the outside, but I thought it was a cute little like low contrast. But it's an 8x8 square. And I made it entirely on my machine. I will not show you the back. The back is atrocious. I accidentally like twisted some seams and flipped some seams and stuff, but in a bag I don't think it'll matter. I'm really excited. It's gonna be so cute. I'm going to make my bag. I have more of this, so I'm probably gonna use that for the rest of the top of the bag, and then I'm gonna line it with this flannel that I have. It's like, can you see it? It's got like this texture, but it's great. I love this. And I think I'm going to do a contrast bottom with this striped green. And this is like a heavy duty canvas. So I'll do a boxed bottom in this green canvas color. So that's gonna be my next project bag for myself. I was feeling sad about missing out on all of the beautiful bag updates on the internet since I'm not supposed to be spending money, and I've been stressed out about cars and all of those kinds of things. So I decided I was gonna try to make myself a bag, and I think I'm doing okay. What's left? Acquisitions, my striped yarn for my challenge, and life updates. I guess that's it. All right, last thing, and then the real last thing. First, let's talk about acquisitions real quick. We'll start with the most boring acquisition, and that is some more Kamaros Mid-Knot Saul. These are actually for my envelope cowl that I showed you in the last episode. I feel really strongly that I'm gonna run out of yarn for that, so I ordered some extra just in case. If I don't need it, great. If I do, even better, I have it here. So that was the most boring acquisition. I bought 2 things from my local yarn store, and then I have a few of my most recent sock set acquisitions. These actually I purchased before the Playful Day yarn sock set that I just showed you that I had in my whips, and these came before, but I thought it'd be fun to show you some of my most recent ones that are still all pretty and unused so far. So I've actually been pretty good about buying yarn. I haven't been buying all that much. I still have some pre-ordered yarn that hasn't arrived yet that I ordered even as early as last year. I had an order I placed on December 20th that still isn't here yet, but it takes a long time. It was a pretty big order. And I have broken a couple of times for some sock yarn, but overall, I've been much better. So to keep it interesting, let's show you some of my recent acquisitions. First, I have this sock set from Ravenswood Fiber Company. And I actually bought this online through the Naughty Lamb. And this sock set is called Morning at the Lake, and it looks exactly like that. I love this color. I bought it thinking that my brother would like a pair of socks in it, but then I got it here and I thought, I'm just gonna make myself a pair of socks. It's also so soft and squishy. It's really good. Love it. So good. Speaking of my brother though, I did buy him a sock set from my local yarn shop. We got some new socks, some exciting new sock sets into the shop, and I couldn't resist one. This one will be for my brother. This is from 29 Bridges Studio. They're out of Maryland. And the colorway is Truffle. And it's this beautiful truffly brown and then this really fun contrast color for the heels and toes. And I've been really kind of into that lately, a tonal main color and then a fun speckly contrast color. I have another sock set here that's very similar to that. I mean, the color is not similar at all, but it's a tonal main color and then a contrast mini. And this is from Essence of Autumn. This is from her vintage cars collection or whatever. And look at that mini. It's so fun. She also has a really nice rustic sock base. This is the Prairie sock base. And this color is Roadster and Old Jalopy are these two colors. So good. When I ordered this, I also ordered a second sock set. Also from her old vintage cars collection. Another sock set, also in Prairie sock. And this is Flare Side and Mustang Shelby. Isn't that fun? Look how bright that is. Like, look how vibrant. Oh, it's so good. So good. I love her yarn. I love her yarn. Last acquisition, very last, is a color from, this is also from my local yarn shop, but we have a dyer nearby. Her name is Jody from Flower Hill Fleeces. She lives outside of the city, but she dyes yarn for the, exclusively for the shop. Sometimes she'll make special yarn for the shop. And they collaborated, her and the shop, on a collection called the Cozy Collection in the fall. And she had a DK base and a fingering base. And she dyed, it's a collection of colors. And this is her DK base. It's a Yak Silk DK. And the color is Fireside. And this color is so interesting. It's rich and beautiful and soft and it glows a bit. It's got a really nice halo. And I bought this to make myself a hat. I love it. I'm so excited. I'm gonna have to change out this battery and then I'll talk to you guys about my striped sock yarn. I actually had one more acquisition to show you. And this is a recent acquisition from Little Lionhead Knits, which is one of my favorite yarn dyers. And this is a skein, just a single skein of Earl Grey and Lavender on tweed. This is a color that I've been lusting after. I've been longing for this color on tweed for so long, and it was always sold out by the time I got to her updates. But I thought there's a feather on it. But I finally got it. I finally got it. I'm so excited. So excited. I'm excited about everything all the time. That really is it though. That really is it for acquisitions. I will have some really exciting ones coming up though once my pre-order yarn starts coming in. The yarn I ordered on December 20th should be ready in the next week or two. So in the next 1 or 2 episodes, you will see that. I'm very excited about it. All right, let's talk about my striped yarn. So like I said, I'm doing a full year challenge where I will knit a pair of striped socks every month. That's it. Just one pair of striped socks every month. I will knit more socks than that, I promise you. But that's the bare minimum. And I have here a little basket with all of my yarn that I've picked out in it. And I want to show you. We'll share it together. First, I have, this is actually January's. Because like I said, in the middle of January, this sock set arrived and I changed my mind. I used this instead. I reserve the right to change my mind whenever I want, because knitting is, you are the boss of your own knitting. You are allowed to change your mind as many times or as often as you want. But I'm leaving this in the little basket in case I decide to add it in somewhere else. So that's fine. This is a Republic of Wool color. It is called Hinterland, and it has these gorgeous browns and creamy pinks and greens and blues. It's very wintry, very nice. February, like I showed you already, is the Pair for Brad from Cozy Knitter. These guys. This is February, and these were the ones I originally picked for February, so I'm back on track. March, I kind of wanted something green for St. Patrick's Day, but then I don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Like, it's not really a big deal to me. But I decided, whatever. What do I have green? I actually have less green than I would expect, because green is one of my favorite colors. But I do have this amazing 50-gram sock set from Tiny Human Knits. This is from her fruit collection, and this is the Kiwi Sock set. So that'll be March. Very cute. April, I picked, oh, also, as you could probably tell, this isn't just like a regular self-striping skein. I included micro stripes in my self-striping. So Republic of Wool, a couple in here, I have 3 in here that qualify as micro stripes. These guys knit up a little bit more, kind of like this. So they still kind of stripe, but sometimes they're not full stripes. Like, it may just be like one round of a color, you know? But I'm counting that because I make my own rules. In that vein though, January, March, April is the same. It is a micro stripe, and it is People Mover from Sorella. This is, it reminded me a little bit of, like, you know, April showers, you know, it's a little like wet, a little rainy. I don't know, I love this color. It's vibrant. I feel like I'm gonna be excited for vibrant colors. I'm already getting excited for vibrant colors, but I think I'll be ready for this when April comes around. April, May. For May, I have Deep Stash. I've pulled out this colorway from Desert Vista Dye Works. And this is on her Viso sock base. This is from her, like, Men of Music collection, and this is George. It is based off of George Strait. So I'm gonna, where's it going? May, yes, May. George Strait yarn. Next, for June, which is my birthday month, I picked another micro stripe. This one I am so excited about. It is, which is why I picked it for June. It's summery, but also I just wanted to knit something that I was really excited about for my birthday month. This is another Republic of Wool color, and it is called Lost at Sea. I have been waiting for Republic of Wool. I don't know the name of the dyer specifically, but I've been waiting for her to dye up her colorway Crustacean again, because I need it very badly. But when she released, when she announced this one in one of her most recent updates, it's kind of similar. This just has lots of greens in it instead of browns. The Crustacean also has browns in it. Well, I mean, I guess this one also has browns a little bit, but it's different. It has like warm browns in it. This was similar, and I was very excited about it. Like, it's so beautiful. Oh, this one's gonna be a lot of fun. That's June. July, we're gonna hit up Christmas in July with Tiny Human Knits. This is her vintage Christmas, very vintage Christmas colorway. Very popular colorway. I'm sure you've seen it or heard of it. Many knitters have knit this up. But that'll be my Christmas in July. I'll probably also pick contrasting colors for most of these out of, this is my contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs basket. August. August is usually the time of year that I start getting tired of summer and start getting excited for fall. And I thought this color would be a good compromise, like a good bridge color. This is from Nomadic Yarns, and this is for Brad. This is a colorway for Brad. It's called Kiki Ma Mama, and it is based off of, it's a horror movie colorway. Friday the 13th. I think Friday the 13th. Yes, Friday the 13th. But this is a self-striping colorway for him. So it's got horror movie fall vibes and also some like reds and blues, keeps it kind of not straight into fall colors. Unlike the next one for September, which is another Nomadic Yarns. And this one is jumping right into fall vibes. This is the Black Flame Candle, which is from her, one of her Hocus Pocus colorways, the Black Flame Candle. This is me getting hype for fall and Halloween because September is when it starts. And then next is October, and it is just a Halloween colorway. This is from Area 51 Fibers, and the colorway is called Speckle or Spook. And it's grays and oranges and blues, and I love it. Ooh, this is just very, this is more kitschy Halloween, less spooky Halloween, and I'm very here for it. I'm very here for it. November, we will start getting more excited for Christmas. So I have another bridge colorway, not specifically Christmas, but not giving up fall, and not giving up fall yet completely. But this is called First Frost. God, I have like hair all over everything. First Frost, this is also from Nomadic Yarns, but this is a full skein. All those small ones I was showing you were 50 grams. This one's 100 grams. I needed this color, and she only had it in 100 grams, so that's why I splurged for that. Beautiful, so good. And then finally for Christmas, December, not Christmas, December, I have a Christmas colorway from Area 51 Fibers. And this is Ugly Christmas Sweater Speckle Donut. And it's got red and green stripes, but it also has like these creamy, like donutty colors with like sprinkle speckles in them. That'll be my Christmas stripes. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. I have bangs falling into my eyeballs. I'm gonna have to start cooking dinner here soon. It is nice and rainy today. Horrible weather. Everything's closed, knit night's canceled. All of it is just going against me today, but I'm going to make soup for dinner. I'm gonna make something spicy and warming, and it's gonna be delicious. I was actually thinking I really wanted a root vegetable roast. I just don't have all of the vegetables I need for it. I really need potatoes. I have carrots. I have mushrooms. I have one sweet potato, but I'm missing regular potatoes. But I'd love to make a root veg roast. That may have to wait though. If I leave the house tomorrow, I might stop and get potatoes. Tonight though, I'll make a different soup because soup is my favorite and I will never get tired of making or eating soup. So I'll ask Brad what he wants, if he wants cabbage soup or bean soup or something else, and that'll be good. But anyways, I think that's all I got. I didn't do this in order today. I gave you some of my life updates like as we went, like our car being in the shop and just me being stressed and stuff going wrong. But besides that, there's not really anything going on. We cleaned today and that made me feel really good. I've been having a really good day. Oh, about the car. We took the car to the shop yesterday morning, first thing yesterday morning. Dropped it off at the mechanic. And around midday, early afternoon yesterday, we got a call from the mechanic, and he told us what they thought was wrong with the car and how much it would cost to fix it. And it was better than I thought. I was really worried that it was going to be a horrible, horrible disaster, but it was relieving. It was really relieving to get that phone call, to know what's wrong with the car, to know that they're going to fix the car, and to know that it won't kill us to pay for fixing the car. So ever since midday yesterday, a weight has been lifted off of me, and I have been in recovery mode. I did a face mask last night. We went grocery shopping after we got the phone call about the mechanic. We took the dog for a walk. I started two new pairs of socks. It's great. It's great. Great all around. And then waking up and cleaning the house this morning, oh man, that makes such a huge difference. Does your physical environment weigh on you so heavily? Because it weighs on me so heavily. If it's a mess, it's just anxiety sitting on me. I constantly am just sitting around feeling like I need to clean. So now today, after waking up and cleaning this morning, I feel like vacation has actually officially started. And I'm going to spend the rest of the day cooking some food, and ooh, maybe I'll try making something new. I've been wanting to try to make dumplings. Maybe I'll try making something new today. But I'll cook and I'll knit, and I might watch Survivor. But besides that, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope to get this up online sooner rather than later, and I hope to see you guys soon.